morning. I know some of you already know me, and some of you, actually a couple of there were just on my retreat. But just bear with me, I'm gonna just give another little introduction about myself. My name is Ahmed Soliman. I've been teaching yoga for past 6 years now, and it's just been a wonderful, wonderful journey. And as you get to know me, I'll be sharing more and more about my yoga history and my yoga past, but I'll spare you all the long story for now. I'm really excited to be here to join the Plan community as well as the OmStars community. I've been part of the OmStars community for quite a while now, and they are amazing. The teachers that they have and the work they do and the accessibility that they provide to everyone when it comes to yoga and living well is really amazing. So I'm very happy to be part of their team and excited about this. I'm gonna be here with you every Monday morning at 8. And this is a segue to talk a little bit about the class that I'll be sharing with you. I've just called it a Monday morning class or a morning flow class. And it's gonna change every week, but it's basically, I'm gonna be sharing with you the practice that I like to do with myself to start my day, to start my week, just something to kind of get us going, to open us up, and to get us also connected with our body a little bit. What a way to start the week is better than just kind of connecting with yourself and knowing how you feel and seeing how you feel and set yourself on a good path. So hopefully we will do that every Monday morning as a result of practicing together in this class. I'm gonna start a little bit today with just some general warm-ups. Again, it's Monday morning. We had hopefully a really nice weekend, and we're getting ready set to start our week. So we're gonna start with some opening stretches, opening exercises, add to that a little bit of flow to get us energized. And then we're just gonna take it from there, and we're gonna flow naturally and see what our body needs for this Monday morning. For today's class, I would recommend having 2 blocks, and I'm sitting on one. So 2 blocks and a blanket, and it can be any blanket. I mean, it doesn't have to be the typical yoga blanket you use at a yoga studio. As you see, I'm just using a normal blanket here I have at home. And 2 blocks. The first stretch we're gonna do, since we're on the ground, we're gonna start laying onto the belly. We're gonna turn around the other direction so you guys can see my arm. I'm gonna take my right arm in an L shape. So my right elbow is level with my right shoulder. But then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna curl my right fingers forward a little bit. That way my right elbow is just slightly ahead of my right shoulder. My right elbow is right here, the shoulder is a little bit behind it, but as you can see, my elbow is still bent. Now I'm gonna look to the left side, and I'm gonna just roll towards my right side. And as you can see, I'm not coming completely on my right side, I'm not lifting the head, and I'm not doing that. That really kind of defeats the purpose of the stretch. Again, just from the ground, I'm gonna roll slightly towards the right side. I'll start to feel a stretch in the front of the right shoulder, the right chest, and that's all that I'm after. I'm gonna push my palm, my forearm into the ground. Just breathe here for a few breaths. A really nice stretch to the front of the chest, front of the shoulders. Come back to the middle. I'm going to do the same thing onto the other side. So I'm going to take my left arm now into that L shape. I'm going to crawl my left fingers forward a little bit to take my left elbow ahead of my left shoulder. And then I'm going to look to the right side. I'm going to roll towards my left. A few cycles of breath here. So we take about 5 cycles of breath. And the length of the breath changes from one person to another, so it could be 8 cycles of breath. Just be here for, I would say, like anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute, just to feel the stretch.
really imagine this idea of breathing into that space, and that I'm going to be using that quite a bit into practice. Breathe into that space, and even if the air does not go particularly in that one spot, just seeing that place in your mind's eye and sending the energy of the breath there is what I'm asking for. Then come back to your belly. You're going to bring your hands by your ribs, stay onto your belly. So just as if we set up the cobra. I'm going to take my hands wider than the mat. As you see, I'm tinting up onto my fingertips as well. I'm going to let my head be super heavy. I'm going to lift with my shoulders, chest first, then get my head up. And as I lower down, I'm going to crawl my belly and heart forward, let my head lower down last. So it's a little bit of an undulating motion. Inhale, lift up into this cobra. And with the hands wide, I can use the power of my arms a little bit to help lift. As exhale, lower back down. A few more cycles of breath like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, crawl the belly and the heart forward. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Okay. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Come onto your hands and knees. And come into a very loose downward facing dog. I'm going to align downward facing dog in a little bit, but in this one I just want you to move around. Bend one knee and then the other. Sway the hips, walk the heels. Just to start to feel your body this Monday morning. See where you're tight, where you're loose, where you need to pay a little bit more attention. Start to investigate your entire body. Let's take about another 5 cycles of breath here, just moving around like that. And if you need to come down onto your hands and knees and perhaps stretch one leg back and then the other, do so. And we'll do it a little bit longer, so let's add another 5 cycles of breath here. And then when you're ready, we'll just walk the feet all the way forward to the hands, and I'll bend my knees, get the weight into the legs, and just round yourself all the way up to stand. Standing, reach your arms up. Hold your right wrist into the left hand. Inhale, lengthen upwards. Exhale, lean towards the left. So I'm not sure how this works in the video. I usually do mirror when I teach in class. I'm actually now doing my left side, but I'm going to be speaking of my right. Hopefully that will translate across in the video as well. If not, we're going to be switching sides anyway, so just going to be aware of what side I'm speaking of and what side you are doing. Come back to the middle. Now take the left wrist in the right hand, lengthen upwards. Exhale, go to the other side. Just a few cycles of breath. Come back to the middle, release your hands by your side, Tadasana. This first flow that we're going to do is a very gentle one, but we're going to be doing some stuff on the knees. We're going to be lowering the knees down. What I like to do is I like to take my blanket, put it about a third way from the back end of the mat. So I'm going to be facing this direction. That way when I do a lunge, my back knee, or I do a low lunge, my back knee would be onto the blanket, something a little cushion for my knees. And then we're going to just stand at the front end of the mat. I'm going to adjust my mat a little bit so hopefully you guys see full view of me. Stand at the front end of the mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, as you see I'm bending my knees, I'm just going to round all the way down. No hinging yet. Okay, and then put my hands to the mat. Step the right leg back. Put the right knee down. Inhale the arms up. Asana. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back into a downward facing dog. Round myself to plank pose. Knees, chest, chin down to the ground.
I'm going to sweep the heart forward, cobra, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Put the back knee down. Inhale the arms up. Anjaneyasana again, same leg. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step forward into a forward fold. Again, bend the knees, get the weight into the legs, round myself up from the legs. Inhale the arms up, keep moving. Exhale, fold over your legs. Hands to the mat, left leg back this time, back knee down, arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back into a downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Actually, put the left leg back down. We'll come forward to plank. Last side I did knees, chest, chin down. This time you can also just lower to your belly. Doesn't have to be knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale now, the left leg up. Exhale, step the foot forward. Back knee down, arms up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step forward into a forward fold. Again, bend the knees, round myself all the way up to standing. Again, same flow, arms up, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, right leg back to a lunge. Back knee down, arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, round to plank. Exhale, lower to your belly or knees, chest, chin down. Cobra, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Tap the back knee down, arms up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step forward into a forward fold. Bend your knees and round yourself all the way up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Hands to the mat, left leg back to a lunge. Tap the back knee down, arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Come to plank pose on the breath in. Lower to your belly or knees, chest, chin on the breath out. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step the foot forward. Tap the back knee down, reach your arms up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step forward into a forward fold. Bend your knees, round yourself all the way up. One more time. Together. Fold. Hands to the mat, right leg back to a lunge. Tap the back knee down, arms up, breathe in. Hands to the ground, step back, downward facing dog. Come to plank. Knees, chest, chin, or lower to your belly. Cobra, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Tap the back knee down, reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step forward into a forward fold. Bend your knees and slowly round yourself up. Arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold over your legs. Hands to the mat, left leg back. Tap the back knee down. Arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Knees, chest, chin, or lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Tap the back knee down, arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. It's time to step back into a downward facing dog. Stay in downward facing dog for a couple of breaths. Come forward to plank, lower to your belly. We're going to do the same stretch we did at the beginning of practice. Take your right arm in an L shape, cactus shape. Crawl it a little bit forward.
Look to the left, roll onto your right side. Two more breaths. And then come to your belly, and we're going to switch sides. Two more breaths. And come back to your belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Come onto your hands and knees, downward facing dog. So we did quite a few downward facing dog in the flow, but I didn't do much talk or work on their alignment. And sometimes you just hold downward facing dog. It's just quite an amazing stretch and amazing asana. I've said this, I've shared this before with many, both on social media and in my classes, that I have always had this teacher that tells me you can spend your entire practice in downward facing dog. So just pay a little bit of attention to it here. I want you to have your feet, for this one, just have your feet hips width apart or as wide as your hands. Either or will be okay. And as you can see here, first I'm going to lift my heels up to lift my hips up. Okay, I'm going to keep my hips up as high as I can, and then I'm going to rock back on the ball mounds of my toes to lift my toes up too. So both my heels and my toes are lifted. Now I'm going to activate the front of my legs so much, especially that front quad muscle, to push my heels back rather than down. It does not matter whether my heels are touching the ground or not, but the length of the spine is the key here. So use the legs to keep the hips high and back. And also use the arms to push the mat away, turn the biceps upwards, and extend the sides of the trunk. 5 more breaths here like that. Then bend your knees, look forward, step all the way forward. Half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Come into a half lift again. Bring your hands to your hips. Firm your legs. Come up to standing from the legs. Hands by your side. If you have the blanket on your mat, set it to the side for now. I'm going to stand in the center of the mat. I'm going to take my feet wide. I'm going to take my arms wide. In the Iyengar tradition, this is called Utthita Hasta Tadasana, or extended hand to feet pose. And toes will be inwards, heels will be slightly wider. That way to get the outer edges of my feet parallel to the outer edges of the mat. I'm going to reach my arms out wide. From the head of the thigh bone, I'm going to turn. Again, now that I'm facing you, I'm going to mirror. So I'll be doing my left side, but speaking of my right side. Okay? So I'm going to turn my right leg to face forward. From the head of the arm bone, with the arms wide, firm the left leg, pull up on that quadriceps muscle. This is my standing leg. I'm going to bend my right leg into a warrior two. I'll get my right knee right above my right heel. Firm the left leg. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of my right buttocks or the outer right hip. I'm going to squeeze that forward towards where I'm looking. As you can see, my chest is facing same way as my hips. My shoulders right above my hips, not leaning forward like that. I'm just going to reach my arms wide, and only from my neck I'm going to turn to look over my right hand. 5 breaths here.
Come back to the middle. I'm gonna straighten my right leg, parallel my feet. I'm gonna do the same thing with the left side. I'm gonna turn my left leg to face outwards, the entire leg, not just the foot. Firm my right leg. I'm gonna bend my left leg for a warrior two. Shoulders above the hips, knee above the heel. This leg is really strong. And just from my neck, I'm gonna turn and look over the left hand. 5 breaths. I'm going to straighten my left leg, parallel my feet, relax my hands, hands to the hips. Take a deep breath in. Actually, in this case, you may need the blocks. I'm going to take the blocks, put them in front of me, just in case. Again, standing with my feet wide, hands to my hips. I'm going to firm both my legs. I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I exhale, I'm going to draw the low belly in and fold just halfway. So I'm not going to fold all the way, not going to go into a wide-legged forward fold. I'm just going to be in a half lift. Hands can be on the blocks like that. They can be on the ground. This is really, this is up to your body. So that's why I like to use blocks, because they do help align the body sometimes a little bit more. In this half lift, I'm looking forward just kind of to check in with you a little bit, but have the gaze just in front of your hands. That way the crown of the head is looking forward, or the crown of the head is pointing forward rather. This is a standing asana, so like we did in downward facing dog, maybe even lift the toes up a little bit, firm those quadriceps muscles, turn on those front thigh muscles. They're the strongest muscles we have in our body. This will give you width and length in the back of the leg. Also will give you width in the low back. Draw the low belly in, take the crown of the head forward. 3 more cycles of breath here. And if you really are turning on those quad muscles, you'll feel a lot of work and a lot of space into the back of the legs. Now choose wisely. You already see that you're getting a lot of work here. You can stay like that, working on the strength in the legs and the opening of the back of the thighs, or you can fold a little deeper. I'll leave that up to you. And if you fold for today, I'm going to let you choose your hand variation. You can take your hands forward, you can take your hands wide, you can grab the outer edges of the feet, but maintain the same exact actions that we have into the legs and lengthen your spine. 3 more breaths. And slowly walk your hands back. Bring your hands to your hips. Come up, press to the way. We're going to stay in that same shape. We're going to repeat that same pattern again. We'll start with warrior two onto the right side. I'm going to turn the right leg to face forward. Bend my right knee, warrior two. Knee above the heel. I'm going to look over my right hand. 5 breaths here. Straighten my right leg, parallel the feet. I'm going to turn my left leg to face the other way, warrior two, the other side. Five more breaths. straighten my left leg, parallel my feet, hands to the hips. Again, blocks should be already near you. Firm the legs, draw up on the quad muscles. Draw the low belly in, and then fold halfway. Hands underneath the shoulders, set yourself up. Choose, either stay in the half lift or fold all the way with the same or a different arm variation than you did the last time. Wide-legged forward fold is a symmetrical pose, so if you change the shape of the arms a little bit, that's perfectly okay. Three more breaths. Then slowly walk your hands back. Bring your hands to your hips. Come up all the way. Step your feet together. We're going to turn the face forward to do our next flow. But before I do that, take your blocks, put them in front of your mat. The reason I have the blocks there, because I want to give you a choice. So I'm actually going to move my mat back a little bit. That way you guys can see where I have my blocks to as well. So I have my blocks in front of my mat. The blocks there as a choice, because we're going to be flowing, doing a forward fold and lifting up, and we're going to be doing that this time hinging rather than rounding by bending the knees. So I want you to have the blocks there. You have the option to have your hands to the blocks rather than all the way down, kind of as if you're raising the ground up a little bit towards you. Okay? So we'll stand at the front end of the mat. Surya Namaskar A or Sun Salutation A. We'll do just a couple of rounds of that to get us nice and warmed up again. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Half lift, flat back, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower to Chaturanga or your belly. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 cycles of breath. Traditionally we hold it here for 5. Today I'm going to go for 3 cycles of breath, just to kind of increase the pace of the flow a little bit. One more breath in. Exhale your air out. Bend your knees, look between your hands. Step or hop forward. I like to step. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms forward and up or out and up, your choice. Exhale, hands by your side. We're going to repeat that again. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Half lift, breathe in. Hands to the mat. Alternate the stepping back leg. On the exhale, Chaturanga or your belly. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths again. Bend your knees, look between your hands, step or hop forward, half lift, breathe in, exhale, fold, inhale, arms out and up, exhale, hands by your side. One more time, inhale the arms up, exhale, fold, half lift, inhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank, breathe in, Chaturanga or your belly, breathe out, do a Cobra or an upward facing dog, breathe in, downward facing dog, breathe out. 3 breaths. Bend your knees, look between your hands, step or flow forward, half lift, inhale, exhale, fold, inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands by your side. We're going to keep flowing, but change the pattern a bit. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Hands to the mat. Again, step back. Lower to your belly or Chaturanga. This time I'm going to go to my belly. You can change. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it all the way forward. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. First time, I'm just going to bring my forearm to my thigh. Take a breath, extend the left arm forward. Hands to the ground. Step back to plank. Again, lower to your belly or chaturanga. I want to go to my belly again. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. High lunge, breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Extended side angle, exhale. Take a breath to extend that right side. Hands to the ground. Step back to plank. Belly or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths this time. Two more. Bend your knees, look between your hands. Step or float yourself forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands by your side. Again, arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold over your legs. Half lift, breathe in. Hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Lower your belly or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg up, breathe in. Exhale, step it forward. High lunge, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Reverse your warrior, breathe in. Extended side angle, breathe out. Take a breath here. Hands to the ground. Step back to plank. Choose belly or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. High lunge, breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Extended side angle, exhale. Take a deep breath in. Hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Chaturanga or belly. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Two more. Bend your knees, look between your hands. Step, float forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands by your side. As you can see, sometimes I just laugh at myself for no reason. Do that. Inhale the arms up one more time. Exhale, fold over your legs. Half lift, inhale. Hands to the mat, step back to plank. Choose belly or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. High lunge, breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Extended side angle, exhale. This time I want to take my hand down. Take a breath to extend the left side. Hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Choose belly or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog on the breath in. Downward facing dog on the breath out. Left side, inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. High lunge, breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Reverse. Extended side angle, breathe out. Inhale, extend the right side. Hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Belly or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog.
Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Two more. Bend your knees, look between your hands, step or float forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands by your side. Tadasana. I'm gonna turn to face you. So again, since I'm facing you, I'm gonna do the mirroring thing. Hands to your hips, feet together. I'm gonna stand into your right leg. Draw the left knee into the chest. Tree pose. Woo. Yes, we'll lose our balance, and that's why we practice. And then we come back again. Now, why did I lose my balance here? Because I actually was focusing on myself in the live video, and that messed me up. So try to find a point in front of you to gaze at. Standing in your right leg, firm the right leg, lift up onto the right quad muscle, and squeeze the left buttocks. Imagine you're doing a warrior two with the left leg bent. It's the same exact hip shape, same exact action. Up with the right leg, the front of the right leg, squeeze the left buttocks. That will help you open up the hip. Any arm variation, hands to heart center, reach your arm up, keep your hands to your hips. I'll leave that up to you today. Just some standing balance. 5 more breaths here. Draw the right knee or the left knee rather into the chest and step down. And you can shake your legs if you want to just kind of get the feeling of both legs again. And come back to both feet together, hands to the hips. We're just going to switch legs. So mirroring you, stand into your left leg this time. Draw the right knee into the chest. Tree pose. And for those, I want to also offer options, and it offered on the other side. You can put the foot to the calf muscle. Same exact hip shape, same exact work on balance. Or you can even do the tripod tree pose like I'm doing. So my toes are on the ground, my heel is resting onto the side of my shin bone. As you see, same hip shape, and this is actually challenging to the balance too. So choose what works best for you. It does not have to be always the foot to the inner thigh. Just what I ask you is don't place the foot on the knee. That's not really a good place to put it. Okay, so enough talk, 5 more breaths. Tree pose. Same actions we did on the other side. And draw the knee to the chest, release the leg down, shake your legs, shake your arms. Okay. Arms up. I'm gonna bend, start with the right elbow, so I'm gonna bend the right elbow. Again, I'm mirroring you here, but do as I say, not as I do, I guess. Right elbow bent behind your head, left arm behind your back, okay? So I'm gonna turn around to show you what I'm doing with the back of my hands. I have the finger clasp here. Now, I do have the range of motion in my shoulders to clasp my fingers. Some people may not. You can grab the t-shirt like that. Or you can just press the hand against the back and do that. All these variations would work. You do not have to go for the finger clasp, okay? Just a few breaths here to open up the triceps, the shoulders, the armpits. Gomukhasana arms. And then release and switch sides. Same thing, other side. release. We're going to do one more flow. We'll do a Sun Salutation B or Surya Namaskar B, just to get a little feeling of Warrior 1, 2 today as well. And then after that, we'll start to take it to the ground. So from the front end of the mat, standing in Tadasana. Inhale, hips low, arms up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold over your legs. Half lift, flat back, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank. Again, choose belly or chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it next to the right thumb. Left heel down to the ground. Inhale the arms up, Warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, chaturanga or your belly, cobra or upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it next to the left thumb. Back heel down. Inhale the arms up, Warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, chaturanga or your belly, cobra or upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Two more. And then bend your knees, look between your hands. Step, float forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hips low, arms up. Chair pose. Exhale, hands by your side. One more. Actually, we'll do 2 more together. Hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, fold over your legs. Half lift, inhale. Hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Choose belly or chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Step it next to the right thumb. Back heel down, arms up, Warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back to the flow. Back bend on the inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Left leg up, breathe in. Step it next to the left thumb. Back heel down, arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, choose belly or chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Two more. Bend your knees, step or hop forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms. Skip the chair pose, hands by your side. And that's gonna happen when you flow at home. As you saw, I skipped the chair pose. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It may not be the way it's practiced in one form or in one tradition, but you're still moving with your body. One more time. Hips low, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, fold over your legs. Half lift, inhale. Hands to the mat, step back. Lower chaturanga or your belly. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg up, inhale. Step it next to the right thumb. Back heel down, arms up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, choose. Back bend, your choice. Downward facing dog. Other side, left leg up, inhale. Step it next to the left thumb. Back heel down, arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, lower. Back bend on the inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. This time we're gonna cut our Surya B a little bit short. I'm gonna add to it a pigeon pose, so inhale the right leg up. Bend the right knee and lower into pigeon. Now, if pigeon like this is too much for your knee, too much for your hip, you can take a block, put it underneath your hip. You can also take a blanket. My blanket's a little far, but you can put a blanket in place of a block. If this is just not happening for your knee at all, a really good variation to pigeon is you lay onto your back, do a figure four stretch. So I'm gonna take my right foot over my left thigh, grab the back of my left thigh, and pull towards my chest. So this is a great variation if you have problems in pigeon on the knee or the hip. I actually like to take blocks, put them underneath my torso. They just help me a little bit to be more comfortable. We're going to be here for about a little bit longer than we usually hold other poses, just because it's a deep, nice deep stretch into the hip. We'll take 5 more cycles of breath on this side. And then when you're ready, you'll take your time to switch sides. Now, a lot of people like to do a counter stretch in between sides. My counter stretch is kind of like to rock my hip side to side, but you can also lift that leg up, you can open the hip. Just kind of see whatever counter stretch works for you, and then once you're ready, you'll switch sides. Take the left leg forward into pigeon. Again, if you're okay on pigeon on the other side, but this side your knee hurts, or your hip is a little tighter, you can always come onto your back, do the figure four stretch like I showed you a little bit ago, or you can use props underneath this hip. What I'm trying to say is we may not be quite symmetrical on both sides. We definitely have one side tighter than the other, so just adjust accordingly to that. Try not to force anything. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but just by being in it a little bit longer, you just get deeper. And as you see, I did lower my block from a medium to a lower height, just because all I did is just sat in it and breathed and focused on my breath in this pose. And that's where the stretch happens, is when you really just start to focus onto the breath and where it goes and how the body feels and what's happening within. The whole concept of embodiment, to go within yourself. 5 more breaths here. and then slowly make your way out of it, just as we did on the other side. If you have, or if you did a counter stretch on the other side, do the same thing on this side too as well. You don't have to do all kinds of counter stretches, just kind of whatever make you feel good. And you'll bring your knees down to the mat. I'm gonna swing my legs in front of me. I'm gonna come to laying onto my back. Now we're gonna do some back work. If you have a bun like me, get rid of your bun just so your head lays flat onto the mat, or put your bun high. I just can't put my bun high. My hair is not that long. I'm gonna do a little bit of back bending practice just to kind of energize and open us up before we wrap up our practice. And you can choose, either simply slide a block underneath your pelvis and lay here. If you had enough work today, if you're like, oh, I'm pooped, I'm done, I need my rest, I need to kind of like pace myself for the rest of my week, this is a nice back bend. I have the block on the medium height. You can even have it on the lowest height, or you can, if you have foam blocks like I do, you can stack 2 blocks on top of one another and have it onto the highest height. A nice supported back bend. If you want to add to it, grab the sides of the mat and open your shoulders up. As you can see, just a beautiful back bend. Close your eyes, stay here for about a minute or 2, just like that, breathing into the shape. It'll give you a nice open across the chest. The blocks are supporting you, opening up the entire front side. You can also extend your legs forward. So this is a really nice restorative variation to end your back bend, or to end your practice with a back bend. If you rather do an active back bend, hands by your side. We'll start with bridge pose. I'm going to lift my hips up a little bit, not full lift. And then I'm going to walk my outer shoulders towards the ground. So it'll feel like your shoulder blades are coming towards one another. You can interlace your hands underneath you, or you can grab the sides of the mat and do so. Okay? And then from the back of my thighs, I'm going to start to lift my thighs up to take my hips up. So my buttocks muscle here are engaged. They're just not pinched together. They're moving more towards the back of my knee. And then I'm going to take my chest to my chin. It's the same shape we did with a block, but a little bit more active. 5 breaths here. And then slowly lower all the way down. Two more. Inhale. And then slowly lower all the way down. Again, lift up. And then slowly lower all the way down. This time windshield wiper the knees to the left and to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. And if you want to stay into a spinal twist for a few breaths, you can do so. If you want to just keep swinging your knees from left to right, you can also do so. Then come back to the middle and do the other side. Then come back to the middle, and then stretch your legs long in front of you, Shavasana. And I know it's Monday morning and you're probably thinking, oh, okay, we're done, let's go, I gotta get ready for work, I gotta get ready for the week, but it is super important to lay here in Shavasana, to close your eyes, to let your body just release in the ground underneath you. Many teachers, almost every teacher I've heard or teachings always say Shavasana is the most important pose in practice. And that's because it's when our body starts to gather and assimilate all that intelligence and knowledge we learned through the practice. So close your eyes and just a couple of minutes here of deep relaxation. Stay in your Shavasana. Let your body descend. And then slowly start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your toes, your fingers. Bend one knee and then the other. Roll onto your side and come on up into a seat. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Also, just want to let you know, I'll continue to do this class every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So I hope you all join me again next Monday. Morning flow, Monday morning with me. All the OmStar people, I look forward to seeing you again. And if you have any, and I hope you all have a great week. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.